hello, this is a remake of the other video, because it wasn't really that good. You can count this as a remake, just like the last one. I will be talking about Lulu, better known as Lulu on ET Animates. But this time I will be talking about my full experience and not just a few things. Ever since recent events from 2 months ago, when there was an update about Lulu, I made a video about it. I was randomly messaged about someone who will remain anonymous about this. They reached out to me and told me about this, showing me screenshots, and then I realized, oh my god, that is my groomer Lulu. And then I got paranoid about this, causing me to make a video. I was very upset. She stole my account and tried to gaslight me, believing she didn't. Same behaviors she always did like before. I wasn't gonna let this slide, especially after everything, and of course her friend reached out to me. I was in a debate with them, because they were defending Lulu and claiming the account wasn't stolen and redesigned. Now get this. Out of nowhere I was threatened with a Google Doc and how much of a bad person I am. My honest response was genuine laughter, and since they wanted to take that route, I decided to make my own doc with real proof and help from some victims. It was posted, it was spread around, and then other victims started reaching out. Even victims I never seen before started reaching out to explain their experiences. There was more screenshots of Lulu doing other bad things sent by them. Unfortunately, I didn't include it into the doc, because I found this out when it already finished. Now, before I go on, there is something I do want to mention that is highly important. Someone who supported Lulu that was defending her, no longer defends and supports her. Hard to keep them anonymous, because it is obvious who they are. Please don't harass them anymore and avoid going at them, as they were also affected by Lulu as well and was being used. Now, believe it or not, Lulu always had very young friends and always only befriended young teens and children. Realizing it now, it is very creepy, and it has always been much more easy to manipulate younger people and tell them things that are not okay that it is okay. This is exactly what Lulu did, as she started engaging in very inappropriate behaviors and activities with minors, telling them it is okay, when she knew it wasn't okay to do. Which always threw me off. Why still do it, when you know you shouldn't? And me used to say she had a mindset of a child, what a petty excuse. Every single excuse for Lulu has been horrible and never been good to reason with. And how she always had minors to defend her and attack her haters, which has always showed how irresponsible and lazy she was. She is an adult who should be able to handle her problems in her own and not depend groups of minors for it. Mind you, half of us were very young. The oldest was 14, checking back when it first started. Yes, we were very immature due to being very young, not understanding things properly, and being under very bad heavy influence of Lulu. She took advantage of that, and often due to the mass amount of guilt-tripping, people were always on her side, because nobody wanted her to end it. I also think people shouldn't shame victims for past actions that were forced by Lulu and heavily influenced. She always said it was okay to threaten and steal from your haters. In fact, I remembered when I had a copycat, when I went by Ember, and I asked Lulu what to do. She told me to attack them, and she stole their art, redesigning it, turning it into Willy Weasel's sister. I was friends with Lulu before the Willy's Wonderland stuff happened, and how badly she influenced me to do such horrible things that I now regret. I didn't do bad stuff like that when I was younger, besides threats that I have apologized to people for it, but that is it. I am so glad I didn't end up like Luna and other unfortunate victims that were heavily damaged and had their purity taken away at such a young age. I am sorry I wasn't able to stick up for myself back then, but now I am able to, and so are the others. Now every victim will be heard. That's why I am properly speaking about this. Before the Willy's Wonderland stuff, I was just a normal mutual lover, and she just randomly befriended me. After that she never talked to me again and only talked to me when I had that Willy X membership. We would talk about how toxic the community is, and then she would mention about her haters, mostly this one by the name Chica Star. At the time I didn't think of anything of it due to me being blind. But she was shipping that person with another person. Yes, shipping real life people together and having a ship war over some Puss in Boots ship. And if you seen the Google doc you would know that she asked one of her friends to make hate art of this hater in the most gruesome, disgusting way. As you can see, this whole situation was in such a bad spotlight and Lulu was doing the most horrible things. And this would go on repeat for months with other people she had drama with. I was always dragged into it, because she would always vent and cry about it in the group. It'll be hard not to ignore. And we all wanted to be there for her despite everything. That's it, because I don't want to make this video that long, but it has been caught to my attention people have been harassing Lulu and some of her friends. Yes, Lulu is a horrible person and nobody should be supporting her regardless. But harassment won't do any better.